Hello, everybody, and welcome to the playoff edition of KC Blitz. I'm Ned Reynolds.
I'm Art Haynes, and we're here to talk Kansas City Chiefs in under 10 minutes. The Chiefs won an epic game in the divisional round against the Houston Texans last Sunday to reach their second consecutive AFC championship.
It's a 24-0 deficit to the Houston Texans in the first half. What, in your opinion, was the catalyst? What pushed the Chiefs into making that, quote, end quote, epic comeback?
Well, it started with Mecole Hardman's long kickoff return from 24-0 down, but it was really set into high motion by Houston's ill-fated fake punt. And that's something that Coach Bill O'Brien has been and will be pilloried for many years. Now, Andy Reid, the winning coach, tried to deflect that and say, no, that was a good call. But I guess it was a good call if Houston had succeeded. But they're on their own 33-yard line, and they give the ball on a short field to the Chiefs. They're up 24-7. They could have punted. Now, it may have ended up being the same outcome, but that really accelerated the Chiefs' comeback. They score quickly, 24-14. They're ahead by halftime after being behind in the second quarter, 24-0.
28 points in the second period. Not really unprecedented, because you might remember last year in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a regular season game in Pittsburgh, the Chiefs erupted in both the first and second quarter, take a huge lead. Now, the Steelers came back, didn't win, but Kansas City has this attitude about them that they're never down. Now, the next thing is the Houston going for the field goal to make it 24-0
Right.
instead of going for a fourth touchdown. Did you think maybe that might have been maybe a little bit of incentive?
No, not at the time. I thought that was smart for them to go ahead and put more points on the board, make it 24. But because of the indecision, that looked like they were going for it, and then they called timeout, and then they sent in the field goal team, and O'Brien said, well, I didn't have a play I felt comfortable with. Really? You didn't have a play on 4th and 1? So, I mean, he opened himself up to some criticism.
Or when the Chiefs finally got rolling, and it is kind of a domino effect in a way, there doesn't appear to be anything that can stop them. Houston's defense was so much slower than Kansas City's. That speed really makes a huge difference.
There's just so much to account for when you're defending the Chiefs. I'm not saying it's the greatest offense in the history of the NFL. I mean, the Rams of the late 90s, early 2000s would be in the same category, but Kurt Warner wasn't the most mobile quarterback. Mahomes is not a runner, but boy, he's mobile. And he ended up being the leading rusher for the Chiefs in the game. If you'd have said Pat Mahomes is going to outrush Deshaun Watson, you would have made a lot of money in Vegas.
Once the pocket is formed for Mahomes, there is nothing to prevent him from, once the defense comes in and he's beyond that pocket and running, there's nobody there to stop him.
Well, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce really both demand a double team. Well, if you double team them, then somebody is going to be open. Demarcus Robinson had a tough day with 3 drops, but Hardman had the long kickoff return. Sammy Watkins made a huge 48-yard catch. I mean, that's kind of the X factor there for the Chiefs. And then you got Damian Williams running at a very high level.
There are any number of options they have. The options that we have here are limited. That's because, as most of you know, we're not allowed to use any of the footage on these webcasts. So what our producer Tony Nguyen has done is put together electronic football. So what we're going to do here is go over the key play that put Kansas City ahead in this ball game by a score of 28-24, and it was one of those Patrick Mahomes patented sidearm passes.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got so many angles with which he can work, and here you see the Chiefs going for their 4th consecutive touchdown in the second quarter, 3 of them to Travis Kelce. He's rolling out to the left. He's about to go out of bounds there. Oh, good evasive action, and he throws a dart there into the end zone to Travis Kelce.
Now, we're unable to put Kelce in the position where he was on the goal line to catch that ball. But watch how he makes the catch out here. He has his back to the quarterback. And a one-handed catch, Art.
Well, it's like a spider fly trap, He just eyes in the back of his head, literally. And that is hard to defend.
And there is the touchdown. And that put the Chiefs ahead. There's the Mahomes cam.
And you can see the quarterback's view of the play, and there's his, you can really see the 8 and the 7 there in the end zone.
There he had a huge game.
He really did. 10 catches for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And this is a guy allegedly with a gimpy knee. Well, here we have the setup down here on the electronic football. Let's take a look and kind of recreate it ourselves. We'll put 87 here. We'll turn him around when he stops at the goal line.
Here we go.
This way.
Mahomes looks like he's going to be past the line of scrimmage here.
He needs to run over here and get behind these blockers. Here, whoop, don't fall down. No.
Maybe it's been defensive pass interference, in fact.
Back up.
Get in the end zone.
There we are.
And
there's where the little pass comes to him right here, right on the goal line. And he caught it on the goal line. The ball was on the goal line, so it was a touchdown, and it was the big difference.
And that's just great communication between Mahomes and Kelsey that has developed over the last 2 years, that Kelsey just kind of sat down in the end zone and Mahomes flipped it to him.
Well, it is the Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans this week, and this, of course, is the AFC Championship game. The winner will be headed to the Super Bowl in Miami. Doesn't that sound nice, too, Miami? Your thoughts on what Tennessee has to offer? Obviously, Derrick Henry is going to be their big man.
Yeah, the leading rusher in the league, 1,540 rushing yards this year, and they are the number 3 rushing team in regular season play. So that's going to be job one. It was in this last game, too, was to contain Deshaun Watson. Ryan Tannehill, of course, and he's been key to Tennessee's amazing turnaround. And they bench Marcus Mariota for Tannehill, but Derrick Henry is the main guy, and he is a load. 3 straight 180-yard rushing games. First man in NFL history to do that, 3 consecutive games. So Chiefs have just got to slow him down. Easier said than done.
But still, the Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites in this game. However, waiting in the wings is the man to make all the rules, Nems. The White Hat, Larry Nemmers, is with us, 17-year veteran National Football League referee. Not a whole lot of controversy in this Chiefs game, the Chiefs and the Houston Texans, but we do have some plays, and particularly the interference, which in the NFL makes a big difference because they're spot fouls.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
This was called on the Houston the Texans here on Travis Kelce.
A long pass, and you can see the Houston defender not playing the ball. He plays into Kelce's body, and then his head is turning. Now, had he had his head turning 2 steps before and this happened, it would be nothing. But he's just playing the man, not the ball.
Whose call is this?
Well, it's both deep officials. There's one on the sideline here that didn't throw it. The back judge, who's coming from the middle of the field, had a good angle of it. I think the guy on the sideline was planed.
Yeah, he's maybe
He
blocked.
sees it a little bit better.
Yeah.
The official over here is looking through the body and probably wasn't sure, so he didn't throw, but he had a really good angle of it.
He threw it.
Okay, so there is no question about this interference call. Now, there was one a little bit later on that may have been able to spark some difficulty, and we'll take a look at it as well. And there's the picture. Here's the interesting call right up here, too, because it was called. Thank you, sir.
Pretty easy call. That's his undershirt hanging out of the back, and it opens up to the referee that's on the goal line here. Any jersey pull like this, and you can see in live action that it affects his just a little bit, and the ball was thrown, which over his head here, and it was catchable had he not pulled back.
Nems, what if this had been a towel?
The towel is okay, because the towel, number one, it'll probably pull away and it won't affect his body, but towel is nothing, just like hair.
Yeah.
Hair is nothing.
So if he had long braids in the back, you could yank on that hair and bring the guy
Tackling,
down.
Absolutely.
And it wouldn't be a horse collar or anything like that?
No, it would not be.
I really hate it when I get my braids in.
All right, let's take a look at this one because it occurred in the Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. And here's the play right down here. It was a replay for a first down.
Well, you have to remember the yellow line is the television line.
Right.
Number one, it's not on the field. It is not the official marker. And usually TV will make it go just a little bit further than it should be. You can see the Green Bay Packers being tackled. The ball is somewhere in here, short of this TV line. Was it short of the line to gain? Yeah, I think it probably was. But when they come back to review it, the only angles they had was an angle this way, which
Yeah.
throws the ball back, and an angle this way, which throws the ball forward. They
Okay,
didn't have one right down the line.
Referee says it is a call as stands, but then comes back and makes a second replay.
Well, I've never seen that before because they announced that they had additional replays and they went back under the booth. Never seen it done before.
We're out of time. It is the Chiefs and the Titans with the Super Bowl on the line, Packers and 49ers in the NFC. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with a Super Bowl preview. That's it for
this'll be a
KC
good
Blitz.
game.
Look for the descriptions of links, some of the plays we discussed on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go Chiefs.